Good afternoon, everybody. David Shuster here on Take Action News. Welcome to our second hour. So glad to have you with us. This is the show where we like to tell you what's going on in the world and what you can do to influence outcomes. I'm joined in our Washington studio by Daniel Merritt, our executive producer, and also Mitch Mulaski, our vice president in charge of board operations. How you guys doing today?
Doing well, doing well. It is a beautiful day here in our nation's capital on the banks of the Anacostia, blocks from the big chair. Once the world's biggest chair here in DC.
Anybody who wants to see the chair, wants to see Mitch Mulaski or Daniel Merritt, come on down to 1918 Martin Luther King Avenue in Southeast, part of Washington, D.C. that a lot of the media has forgotten, but we have not forgotten.
And I also have to say, driving over here, because I live on the other side in Navy Yard. We are directly on the other side of the 11th Street Bridge here, like immediately at the intersection, and that is still under construction. But the local span, the highway spans are open, but the local spans are making a lot of progress. They've laid a lot of the road there, and it's going to be beautiful intersection leading out here to Anacostia, and here in historic Anacostia, we are definitely going to be blowing up. So come down and check us out.
You know, there's some news this week involving those White House petitions. We were talking about some of that the last hour. There is a petition that has been submitted to the White House. And again, these are the petitions where if you get 25,000 signatures, the White House then promises a response. And one of the petitions that just did reach the 25,000 signature mark is a petition which calls for Senator Dianne Feinstein, Democrat of California, to be tried in federal court for treason. The petition claims that Feinstein's recent push for a renewed assault weapons ban makes her guilty of treason of the Constitution. It's been published on InfoWars, which is a site run by a prominent conspiracy theorist, Alex Jones, who we mentioned in our last hour, has his own radio program. The petition says Senator Dianne Feinstein has made it clear she does not believe in the Constitution or the inalienable rights of Americans to keep and bear arms. She is actively working to destroy the Second Amendment with her 2013 assault weapons ban. For this reason, we the people of the United States petition for her to be tried in federal court for treason to the Constitution. Daniel Merritt, your reaction to the petition, any surprise that folks on the right would be able to get 25,000 signatures for this?
You know, David, we spoke earlier in the show about getting 25,000 signatures for a petition for the White House to build a Death Star. I think that petition is actually more credible and sane than this one. I'm sympathetic to some concerns that we share with libertarians about civil liberties. If you wanted to prosecute Dianne Feinstein for ramming through warrantless wiretapping, which happened in the lame duck session of Congress, in which she basically, together with the vast majority of Democrats and Republicans, really prevented a lot of amendments that would require more oversight and review from a coalition, I would say, of Rand Paul on the libertarian side and a few Democrats, Jeff Merkley, Ron Wyden, who are really just interested in more transparency and accountability. Then that, I think, would be a legitimate petition, but this is just ridiculous. And but you know what? Look, at the end of the day, all these libertarians, these right-wingers, the Alex Jones types, they have to say one thing, and that this Democratic president, this big government creating President Barack Obama, has given them a new platform in which they can express themselves and try and hold their government accountable. You couldn't have said that about a more Republican, conservative, small government president. So,
yeah, I gotta say, and to that point, I mean, for anybody you're absolutely right about a new platform for people to be able to engage our government. Anybody who feels like they've got an issue that they want to bring to the attention of the White House, you get 25,000 signatures, and you've got it. I mean, everything. And look, if you go to whitehouse.gov and click on petitions.whitehouse.gov, there's hundreds of petitions that are there, and there are hundreds of responses. For example, there's one that says remove marijuana from the Federal Controlled Substance Act and allow the states to decide how they want to regulate it. And the White House response is, it is clear that we're in the midst of a serious national conversation about marijuana. At President Obama's request, the Justice Department is reviewing the legalization initiatives passed in Colorado and Washington, given differences between state and federal law. In the meantime, please see a recent interview with Barbara Walters in which President Obama addressed the legalization of marijuana. Barbara Walters asked, do you think that marijuana should be legalized? President Obama said, well, I wouldn't go that far, but what I think is that at this point, Washington and Colorado, you've seen the voters speak on the issue, and as it is, the federal government has a lot to do when it comes to criminal prosecutions. It does not make sense from a prioritization point of view for us to focus on recreational drug users in a state that has already said that under state law that's legal. I mean, look, so, you know, it's an opportunity for anybody, regardless of your issue, right, left, center, whatever it is. If you feel strongly about something, you can engage your government and get a response. You don't have to be a paid lobbyist. You don't have to have lots of corporate money. You simply have to get 25,000 signatures, and the White House will respond. And I think that's just great. And I think it does make our government, like I think it's one of the coolest things the Obama administration has done online is this We the People petition site on whitehouse.gov. We're going to pause just a couple seconds and talk about what's going on in Congress with the fight over gun control. We'll talk to Colin Goddard, who is a victim of Virginia Tech, his perspective on some of what is coming out. And again, you can always catch us on our YouTube channel. Make sure to subscribe. YouTube, Take Action News TV on YouTube. We pause, though, for our syndicated stations in just 1 second.